Hello and welcome back to another Beating Every 3-star. The first one I'll be playing today is Below by Stashy. Pretty clean so far, kind of reminds me of 2.0. Not a huge fan of the custom portals, but they are readable. Would be nice to see a bit more air deco. It's currently just a ground and some saws and some blocks. I mean, there is a background as well, but they're the foreground details. Ground here could use an outline, also just a bit more variety. Whole level could actually just use a bit more variety. Designs have been pretty minimal throughout. They don't look bad, but they could just be a bit more interesting. I have a feeling that this is quite old. Yeah, it is. 6 years ago. Cathectric by Electric Fire O. He's catching me up in creator points. Gonna take my top 2 British creator title. This is pretty cool. I like the pixel art style. Background's a little bit empty. I like the use of layering though. Would be nice to see some movement. Yeah, the layering's really good. I think there could be a bit of shading within the layering though. I think that would look much better. Nice particle usage here, very empty part. Block designs are nice and I like the use of the invisible blocks within them. It's just a shame that the backgrounds are so empty, there's nothing going on with them. There's a nice amount of air deco but could use some saws. The colours are pretty nice throughout. I wasn't enthralled by the level but it was pretty decent. Adventures by It's Kevin125. It's been a while since I've played a platformer on this series. I like the style, the colours are pretty nice. I like the fact that the blocks are darker than the background. I think that actually works very well. And then you have the lighter spikes and saws. It does look quite nice. Gameplay is just like a normal level though. You can just keep holding down and then just play the level. I think the gameplay could be more platformer based. I'm going to be stuck here. Also, the backgrounds feel a little bit lazy. They're just some stripes that go over an empty coloured part. Oh, going up. I didn't realise that. I'm not going to be able to see. Nice area effect here, really cool colours. I like the particle usage. There's some really cool ideas there. Oh, there are only 3 parts. I liked it. Definitely could have been longer. Definitely could have been a bit more interesting as well, but pretty enjoyable. Blitz by Dark Fiend. First creator points. Oh, this is really nice. This feels older, but in a good way. It's a very early to mid 2.1 styled ground, kind of like it. This is really nostalgic to play. Custom portals are absolutely awful. There's a nice use of layering. The blocks could be at the top of the screen as well as the bottom. Everything just feels a little bit grounded. Colours do clash a bit, but I do like the use of rainbows. Maybe some white outlines for the blocks would work, especially for the spikes actually. Overall this is pretty cool though. Not entirely creative, but decently executed for its time. Oh, so it's an early 2.1 style with 2.2 objects, so it's actually a new level. Yappa by Brian C2. Really nice colours. Not a fan of the gameplay. There's some cool layering, nice energy throughout. Movements are pretty good. Everything's very dynamic, I like it. This feels like early 2.1 as well. This is pretty cool. It's a little bit messy in spots, especially this part. However, I do think it works. It adds to the energy. It makes it look a bit more creative, a bit more interesting. Yes, clean levels are great, but sometimes these raw, slightly messy levels do work very nicely. This is kind of like a less well executed Dansman style, and I'm all for it. Yeah, that was really cool. I enjoyed that, and I appreciate the 3 coins. Night is Awesome by Hutnix. It's not really clear where to go here. It's because there's an indicator in one spot. It's not clear that you have to tap 2 more times. I like the colours though. The glowy design really works. There's a really nice mix of styles. We've kind of lost that mix of styles here though. Apart from in the background, that background's quite cool. It works well with the very glowy assets. Nice use of rainbow here actually, I think that works. It could use a little bit more depth overall and the designs could be more interesting. These silhouetted blocks aren't really doing it for me. These are definitely more interesting though. Some cool assets. I think the execution overall is pretty good as well. I just wish there was a bit more to it. Maybe a bit more variety within that part. Nice structuring here. Quite empty though. And the 3D is incorrect. Nice effects overall, nice ideas, relatively solid for its time. Destelos by Chachito Domin. I have a feeling I'm going to be getting a lot of coins in this episode. Really nice colours, I like the background. It's a pretty creative idea. I like the borders on each side of the screen. I think they'll be a little bit off centre for you, however they're not for me. Really nice effects overall. There's great glow usage. It's really creative. I love the wave effect in the background. The designs fit really well. It's a really cool style. I know I've said really quite a lot, but I'm not very good with my descriptive words. This is so cool. I missed a coin, which is surprising for a Chachito Domin level. Excellent energy. I'm surprised this didn't get epic. This is really well executed, especially for its time. Overall, this is stunning. There's a few parts that fall short, like this one, and this part could have switched up a bit more. However, overall, just so good. Really enjoyed that. Ayura by 7 On, a very nostalgic creator for me. Really nice style, look at that. This is brilliant. Blocks are beautiful. Those effects were incredible as well. The blocks are very copy and pasted. The movements on them are very clean. Colours are incredible. The art's so good here. This is probably the best level of its time that I've played. Everything's just so clean. I'm really surprised that this didn't get epic. The execution has been done so well, and the use of the 3D, it carries on the blocks, and that's really remarkably good. What an excellent level. It's so creative with its backgrounds as well. The colours are perfect. I really cannot fault this level. It's absolutely stunning. I really hope I can get a nice thumbnail out of this. All the themes have been done to a T. The blocks work with the general structuring of them. So with the wave part, we had these wavy looking blocks within the designs, and we have these rigid looking ones for the mountain part. It's kind of like Bob Ross. This is so cool. What an excellent level. That should have been epic. Silencio by Shy GD. Very classic style, very nostalgic for me. I like the colours. It's incredibly messy with all these particles, but that just adds to the charm of this kind of level. Little bit inconsistent in style here, got a bit more of a modern part, but it keeps that messy feeling, and I think it does work quite well. Blocks are a little bit static, there's some nice structuring though. I've really enjoyed the levels from this video. There's a lot of variety throughout. Colours don't really work here, but that doesn't matter too much. I'm always wondering what style is going to be next, what colours are going to be used. This is really fun to play. What an excellent level. Quantum Osiris by Seafarer, another British creator. Oh dear, it's the slow parts. They were very well known back in the day to make your levels much easier to build because you have to make significantly less. As you can imagine, the gameplay in these levels is never very good, especially when there's a UFO part because it's difficult to judge where it's going. Style has been nice and consistent. Oh, it's auto for some reason. It's a little bit unpolished in parts and a little bit empty too, and it's not particularly creative. However, it does look cool. There are some nice ideas. Colours have been pretty solid throughout. I really wish this moving part thing was just not used. It does ruin it. Not bad though. Magic Spell by Anza. Whoa, this is vibrant. Nice colours. It's a bit empty and incredibly glowy. I think it's a bit overkill probably. The 3D is unfortunately incorrect. The movements are very janky. And the structuring is these horizontal pillars, and I've never been a fan of them. I think the only creator that does them particularly well is Epieps. Very vibrant, nice part here actually. It's a little bit messy, a little bit over the top, but it definitely makes more sense it being this vibrant in the drop instead of the pre-drop. It's a cool level overall. I'm not a fan of the inconsistent 3D. Some blocks have it, some blocks don't, and then it's just all in different directions. However, pretty cool overall. Okay, thank you very much for watching this video, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye!